The concept of monetization revolves around leveraging the data and insights generated by the industrial Internet of Things to create new business models, optimize operations, and enhance productivity. Our next speaker, Mr. Stephen Gitahi, will take us through the monetization of the industrial Internet of Things, IIoT. Mr. Stephen Gitahi is the Research and Projects Lead at the IoT and Wireless Network Lab at iLabAfrica. So, without further ado, let us extend our warmest welcome as he takes the stage.
So welcome. As you've heard from the AI, I'm very glad that we are using AI today, and you can see the revolution as it's going. Stephen Gitahi is my name, Research and Projects Lead at IoT and Wireless Networks at iLabAfrica. That is a research and innovation center at Strathmore University. So today we are going to look at monetization of industry Internet of Things. And so our lab has been in existence for the last 6 to 7 years. And over that time, we've experienced a lot, building a lot of solutions, research, product development, building capacity in this area of Industry 4.0. And especially working with IoT. Within that period, we've covered a number of verticals in different sectors, and I've listed just a few here. You can see in the environment, in the smart manufacturing sector, water industry IoT, energy, connectivity, asset management, transport and logistics, healthcare, additive manufacturing. Someone mentioned a lot about this. Digital twin, we've heard about this. E-mobility, a lot of research work going on that. Climate technology, the conference is still going on, and some work on drone technology. So all this work over these 6 and 7 years has been powered by, number one, embedded systems and communication technologies. So it's important to actually just say that Kenya, we are at a good place technologically. It's now a question of how can we use the technology to build solutions for our own problems. So let's dive in. The theme for this conversation is resilience or relaunch, is manufacturing at a crossroad. So I'm hoping that the conversation that we're going to have here will help us to answer this question. So we are here now. Technologically wise, we've built a solution, we've tested it out, it's working. We might as well say, let's finish the race. Yeah. So during the February forum, the year ahead, we painted a picture of what we would like to achieve from an industry point of view, from an adoption of this technology. So back then, I mentioned that IoT is now mature, being that it's been here for now 6 to 7 years, and now we want to see it being applied in these activities. So there's something here I have that it's not just about technology, it's also about the resilience, relaunching, and realizing the potential of a connected world. And this is what we are trying to achieve. So the current state of manufacturing, and someone alluded to this earlier, it's increased by 2% in the first quarter of 2023. If you compare this to last year, 2022, in relation to the GDP, it's a little bit lower. But as our former presenters mentioned, it's not about that the manufacturing sector is slowing down, it's that other sectors are also catching up, which means now we have to divide the slice further. Yeah, but then we also have to ask ourselves in terms of adoption. Yeah, and our first keynote speaker mentioned that we need to get to 20% contribution to the GDP by 2030. We might want to ask ourselves, what maybe are we not doing right, and how can we connect that to the need of resilience and adaptation? Many people have alluded to this, the role of IoT in manufacturing. You've heard about predictive maintenance, you've heard about supply chain automation and optimization, you've heard about quality control. Now the big question is, how can we monetize this, which speaks to a question of sustainability. We have the solution, we have the technology, but it also has to be sustainable, which is the case if you are a CIO and you're going to pitch a solution to your board. The first question they will ask you is, how much are we going to pay? And also, will the solution survive by itself? After the initial capital, can it run itself? So the question of sustainability comes in, and that can only be answered through monetization of IoT. So some strategies that we've put into place that any company out there can adopt. One is subscription-based service. Yeah. So here you're looking at a subscription kind of model where people pay a certain amount of money to get a certain service from your IoT ecosystem. This is an easier model because it's a little bit predictable. You can tell how many customers have subscribed to my product. Yeah, so it's a little bit predictable if you compare it to any other revenue stream. The second is data monetization. So data as a service. So here you're looking at, you have a subset of data, you have your data lake. Can you do some analytics out of it, get some insights, and monetize those insights? So that insight, can it add value to someone else? You might be the company that have deployed this IIoT, but also given that you're in an ecosystem. For example, the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, the members there. So if one of the member gets certain insights, can you actually sell that insights to the other members? Yeah, so you can monetize that data. Productivity gains and cost savings, that comes directly. So platform as a service, this one is also lucrative. So build a nice platform. You have your ecosystem, industry, IoT. There's a platform that is running under in the background, just ensuring that all the services are running, your API. So can you actually also monetize that platform? So other manufacturers, other players in the market, they do not need to build the same solution that you have done. If you've done it, you've tested it, it's working, go ahead and provide it as a service to other manufacturers, and you will be able to get back to your money. So pay-per-use, this is also important as a model. So you have your platform, you have your data. So for example, I can give you an example of something we've deployed at Strathmore. We have this air quality network. Yeah, and the kind of collaboration that we are working with our partners is that we have researchers in the universities. So the only way we pay for that use is by telling how many users, how many researchers have accessed the data, have accessed that data, and done analytics on it. So we pay per researcher. So you can use the same model, have a certain service that is valuable, put it out there, then ask people to pay per use. They pay per use. The next one is licensing and consulting. So with licensing, you're looking at directly manufacturing of products. So you can avoid this. Yeah, you can avoid this by having a system, having a platform, having your ecosystem that works, then licensing that architecture to another player. Yeah. So if you're talking about maybe a beverage company, we have a number in the market. So if one of them does something nice and it's working, you can license that architecture to another player, and they can build an ecosystem based on your architecture. Then you get some royalties and licensing fee out of that model. So consulting also, you've done your thing, it's working very nicely. So also get your employees to be consultants of other players in the market. So we've done our research, we are here, we are sharing that knowledge. That kind of consulting, you can also monetize that to other players in the market. I've listed a number of other areas that anyone can take this up and decide to use it. Just quickly go through them. So cross-selling and upselling. Here you have data about maybe a customer equipment. You can get information about the device. For example, when is it getting to the end of its lifetime? Yeah. So the manufacturer, or you as a manufacturer, you can be able to tell it's time to talk to my customer and suggest to them. Yeah, maybe we can push from this product A to product B, so that at the end of the game, your customer also has time to prepare to acquire the next product. Yeah, so you are helping them to buy from yourself, which results to an increase in revenue from your side. So customization and add-ons. Yeah, so some customers will allow or are okay to pay for tailored solutions. So you can also tap into that opportunity and charge a little bit more. You're giving value, so you can charge more for that. So the only way you can also tell what kind of customers can allow me to define my product, go an extra mile and call it pro product, then charge a little bit more out of that, which results to some increase in revenue. So performance improvement and consulting, just identifying inefficiencies, process improvements in your processes, customer optimizing the manufacturing processing for some fees. So all that, it's possible to do that using data. Resale of spare parts and consumables. This one mainly works with if you're doing big products. So for example, I'll give you an example. I think this one is okay. We've had conversations, for example, Strathmore and Isuzu, and I'll come to that at the very end. How can they be able to tell what spare parts their consumers want? Yeah, and how can they avail those in time, just when the customer wants, which is what the customer wants to feel, that you understand them, you understand their needs, and they will be okay to buy extra products from yourself. So data monetization, this one I explained a little bit earlier, selling insights, trend analytics to third parties without necessarily them having to own the ecosystem. So they can improve their products, they can improve their services while leveraging on your ecosystem. And then at the very end, to wrap it up, ecosystem collaboration, which is you have different players, they're working together. They can even go to an extra mile of developing a shared revenue model. Yeah, so you bring the data, I'll bring the product, we sell, we divide the profits depending with whatever contributions each of the player is giving. So that, while we're trying to do that, there are some challenges, and the previous panel has gone into security and privacy. So as you try to do your implementation, just ensure you check on these two to ensure that you have a successful implementation, which is data security and privacy. So back to our question, the crossroads. So resilience or relaunch, yeah? So IoT, it can play a pivotal role in just helping you as a manufacturer to decide, are we where we are? Are we doing what we are supposed to do? Yeah. So that data, that insight that you're getting from your ecosystem can tell you, are we doing the right thing? And how, for example, from our panelist, from our keynote speaker, how can we get to that 30% or 20% by 2030? You get that information from your data, and the only way you can get that data is through your IIoT ecosystem. Yeah. So at the very end, it's important to embrace IoT to stay competitive and adaptive in the current markets. Yeah. So the data is key. Some insights here and some challenge that I would love to leave you is that we know what is doable. We've had we can do predictive maintenance, we can do analytics, we can do all this. So let's try and move from now just listeners to actually doers. Yeah. How do we bridge that vision? Point number 2, how do we bridge that vision from vision to actual reality? Yeah. So we bring in technology, let it solve this sub-problem, then we can get to where we want to be. So with IoT, resilience is not just about weathering the storm. It's also about harnessing its power to relaunch and reach new horizon. Yeah, and that is the power that IoT gives you as a player in this industry 4.0. So something here that is important. I am in the academia, but we also are encouraging a collaboration between academia and industry. Yeah, why this is important is because a lot of research, a lot of new technology, a lot of this work is being done in the academia side. So in the industry, you buy a device, it's working, plug and play, that's okay. But in the research area, it allows you to also see beyond what you're seeing today. So for example, we have a new technology, LoRaWAN, IoT, NB-IoT, Sigfox, all these communication technologies. We also come in and say, you as an industry player, how can we help you to improve your processes? Even if it's just at the research area, just to show you what is possible, then allow you to move forward with your visioning. So we are encouraging a collaboration between industry and academia, and I'll just show you how we are trying to do that as a lab. So we've looked at 2 areas. We have the big industry players and the SMEs and the startups who are trying to grow their roots. So for the SMEs, for the big industry players, number 1 is we do reviews. Yeah, we review existing processes and try to identify what are those pain points that you are going through. Then try to give you an area, a route that using this technology you can solve this. That statement by itself gives you a way forward. Yeah. For SMEs and startups, we've started something we are calling the Forge, and it's a movement. It's a movement. You can call it a movement or an initiative that Strathmore has taken to just ensure that we enhance IoT innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem in Kenya. So the question that we ask ourselves here is, for the last 6-7 years, we've been researching, we've been training people. We are also asking ourselves, where are these people going to? So what we realize from research is that people build solutions, especially startups and small players, is you build solutions and then they are locked in your locker. They are stored somewhere. There's a file somewhere. There's a report somewhere that tells us what is achievable. So what we want to do is now move from enabling that innovation in terms of capacity, but also accelerating it. Just saying that let's move that solution from a report to an actual solution, to an actual company. So we're working here together, coming from the IoT and Wireless Networks Lab, working with the incubation center at the university to just ensure that these startups, as they build their technology, we support them as a lab. As they move towards customer assessment, product validation, the incubation center is there to support them. So it's a collaboration that is helping us to support SMEs and startups. So this is the process that we follow. We get people, they're onboarded, we map what are the missing pieces, some training and orientation, the product is developed, we go through an incubation period where that is refined, and then we get into an entry market sphere where we are saying, you've built your device, you've built your solution, go out there, get 2,000 customers. That validates that you actually have a solution that is solving a problem in the market. Then through the incubation center, we arrange for venture capital investment that will allow that startup to grow beyond the initial stages. Yeah. So my closing remarks, which is, we are in a connected world and a resilient future. So my tagline would be, let's embrace the possibilities, monetize the opportunities, and let's build together a manufacturing landscape that's not at a crossroads, but at the forefront of the innovation. So we leave the crossroads and be the leaders that are forefronting this innovation. Thank you very much. Steve Gitahi is my name.
Welcome to the Smart Industry Forum, where we discuss the latest tech developments and their impact on manufacturing and supply chain sectors in Africa. The forum will feature discussions on Industry 4.0 technologies in manufacturing, logistics, supply chain management, efficiency and productivity in smart factories, cybersecurity, and global trade impacts. Join us as we delve deeper into the industry world.